Thanks again for everyone joining in. As a quick introduction, alongside me is my friend and colleague, Carlos. Carlos is the Customer Success Director at vFairs, and he will be helping with the Q&A. So we'll be going through the questions throughout the demo. Feel free to message us on the chat, and Carlos will be jumping in to answer all of your questions. Now, as an overview, I will kick things off with a quick introduction on myself and on just how we're going to outline today's webinar. So it's lovely meeting you all. My name is Stefany Kaprielian. I'm the Sales Director at vFairs. And to those of you that are not familiar with vFairs, we are an all-in-one events management platform. We help event organizers from multiple industries run custom events. These events can be virtual, they can be hybrid, or they can be in person. As an overview, we are industry leaders. We've been around for almost a decade now. We operate across more than 4 global offices. We've hosted over 30,000 events in the last 9+ years. These cover multiple use cases. Virtual job fairs, career fairs are very popular. We run conferences, trade shows, and much more. And throughout these events, we have served over 80,000 exhibitors and over 100 million attendees. Now, when we say all-in-one, what we cover is the end-to-end solution. So that entails the event registration and ticketing at its core. This includes branded websites we can create for events, customized registration forms, automated email workflows. In case any kind of payment is required, we help with different payment gateway integrations. And AI is optional. In case you need help creating content, we provide AI integrations as well. Virtual, which will be the main focus of today's event, we'll talk about virtual lobbies, different designs, the exhibit hall piece, webinars and auditoriums, and different bells and whistles should you require it with engagement and networking. For in-person or hybrid events, we can also help with check-in and badge printing. And we have a very robust and very custom branded mobile app. This can help with lead capture, it can help with networking, push notifications, floor plans, and much more. We're VPAT and WCAG compliant, making us fully accessible. And one of the great things with working with vFairs is that you'll be in great hands from start to end. The first step that we do is we assign a dedicated project manager and customer success manager to every project we take on. So the team will onboard and train you on the entire system, and they will provide dry runs and will be with you on the live day as live day support. Here are some examples of customers from hundreds of different industries that we have assisted with. In technology, there's the likes of Microsoft, Apple, IBM. We've worked with so many different universities, nonprofit, government sector, and more. Now, stay tuned for the end of the demonstration because we will also be sharing with you a discount voucher that you can use to avail a discount for your upcoming virtual career fair. And again, any questions you have along the way, let us know in the chat. The demo will be outlined in three different ways. Number one, we'll cover everything that happens in the pre-event planning process. Number two, we'll discuss about the event execution, what happens during the live day. And we'll wrap things up and we'll conclude with the post-event, which is mainly the reporting and understanding the ROI. Perfect. I'll dive in. Carlos, let me know if there's any questions about the overview. Otherwise, we can get started.
Good so far, Steph. We can go ahead.
Perfect. So first things first, we want to get the word out that your company is hiring. So the way to do that is through a custom branded landing page. Everything here is customized, all the way from the URL to branding, content, logos, and more. The purpose of the landing page is to educate these job applicants on 1, your business, 2, what kind of jobs that are available maybe, 3, common FAQs, and much more. So here's an example of what it can look like. You can add details about the career. You can add social links. Here's a second example, what the event is about. I personally like this part of this landing page where they've helped their attendees prep for the career fair. So they broke it down as well into before, during, and after. And for each, there's information on what they need to do to be better prepared. From here, I learn more about the event. And as a candidate interested in participating in your career fair, I need to submit the registration form. The registration form will serve the purpose of capturing any important information about the candidate. Keep in mind that this is very important when it comes to the resume search later on as well. So anything that is important to your recruiters to help find the ideal candidates for the roles you're hiring for, you want to make sure you're capturing them within the registration form. It's very custom, so really anything you want to ask, most basic things would be a first name, last name, and an email address. But then you can ask them about their current job title, upload their resume, and more. This client has added a lot of details. Again, your registration form can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be, but I just want to highlight here so that we can diversify different options. You can see some are mandatory, some are optional, and they've asked things like the educational level, years of experience, the employment status. They've even asked about current basic salary and expectations. And it's not only an upload resume that you can have. This client opted for one more thing. So aside from the registration fields, they have resume upload as a mandatory field, and then they have video resume as well as additional documents. Once an applicant will go through the registration form and submit their registration, they will then have a confirmation email sent through. So we will handle all of the different email conversations. These could be acknowledgements that their registration went through. It could be reminders that the event is coming up, or it could be post-event thank you emails as well. The content in these emails are very custom, and the way that the email looks is also very custom and branded. Here are some examples from previous events with clients. Some content I would recommend that you include here include marking the event to their calendar, maybe highlighting a couple of jobs that you have advertised, and any other important information for you. The great thing with vFairs is while you can create all of this from scratch yourself or with the help of a project manager, you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. You can simply use any of these templates as well. So there's landing page designs like the two examples that I showed you. There's much, much more in our design library. So you can choose any one of these and then obviously rebrand it with your logos. You can also choose any different form layout, which is the registration fields. And again, brand it with your content. With this, we've concluded the first part of the demo, which is the pre-event side. I'll pause again just in case there's any questions, and then we'll get to the exciting part.
There was a question, Steph, but you answer it on the go while the person was actually asking it. So they were asking, like, can the form be customized to attendee location if they have security clearances, need visas, sponsorships, uploading resumes, etc., which is totally great. Something that we will also discuss in a little bit because it's going to be a great way for you to source, or in this case, you can actually filter candidates based on those knockout questions that you ask at the registration level. So Stefany's going to walk you through that, but that's totally possible. And she made a great example on it. And we will share also those examples after the demo. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Now we'll fast forward to the day of the live event. We'll send a reminder email. And now this is going to be the experience of the attendees once they log into the platform. As a side note, considering the use case that you are all looking to host as a virtual career fair, one of the main priorities that we come across with companies is that they also want to make sure that they're promoting the brand, promoting the company, the culture in a positive way. And one of the ways I'd recommend doing it is opting for a custom design. Custom designs like the one KPMG chose gives the attendee the feel as though they're actually walking into the KPMG office. Everything from the way that the avatars are dressed, to the building, to the different rooms, everything can be custom. Some other clients that have opted for this option include Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland Clinic did something nice as well, which is once you log in, as opposed to having a welcome video pop up, they had a member of their team give a welcome message. So that's always very memorable for attendees. Here's a third example with Microsoft. Keep in mind that this does not necessarily need to be a headquarter office. While it's nice, if you do have an image, our team can help animate it. But if you want our design team to create something completely from scratch, we can also help you out with that. Here's one final example with Morrison Healthcare. As you can see, these events look completely diverse and different from one another. So once we've entered the virtual lobby, you can again opt for custom designs, or not necessarily. You can also go with the design templates. Same way I showed you that there are design options for a landing page, for a registration form, for email templates. We also have the same for 3D and 2D designs. So here are just some examples to skim through. You can choose any one of these. And the great thing is that the white banners will eventually be your logos as well. So it will look very branded. There's tons of options to choose from for exterior and interior lobbies. And in case for your event, you're not looking for a very immersive experience, you can also opt for something more 2D. It can be very plain with just shortcuts to the rooms, such as jobs, auditorium, support, and much more. Now, we spoke about how the lobby looks. Now let's enter one of the most important rooms in the event, which is going to be the exhibit hall. You can rename these, you can call them however you want, departments, jobs, and so on. The way we see clients using the exhibit hall is the most popular way, I would say, is by different departments, considering the use case. So that's what Nestlé did here: manufacturing, finance, HR, and so on. This can be a horizontal view. It can be an aerial view as well, like this. Sorry, like this one. And another way that I've seen clients use it is, for example, with Schneider Electric, or if you guys run operations in different states, in different locations, you can also have multiple exhibit halls. We can customize the user experience so that if I'm connecting from North America, I would only see the jobs and the exhibit hall relevant to my location, or we can make it visible to all. So these are just some ideas. Now, assuming that I'm a candidate that's interested in the legal department, I need to click on that booth, and this is where I'm going to see all of the information about your company, about the jobs advertised for this department, and this is where I'll get to apply for the jobs. So to keep things simple, let's start off with the main bullet points you're going to get within a booth. Number one is branding. Every single booth can look very different. You can have diverse avatars, and even better, you can have your team as the avatars on the booth as well, if you want to go with the custom option. The booth will be branded with your logo. And then once I scroll down, you can see as much information can be added, whether it's a description, whether it is job vacancies, or whether it is content links. To diversify, here's a second example: the booth with the information and the avatars, company, and job vacancies. So since my main interest as a candidate is to learn more about the jobs and apply for them, I will go into view details, learn more about the vacancies, such as working hours, the location, and so on. And then to apply for the job, there's two options. Number one, I apply within vFairs and you'll be notified by email. Number two is if you have an applicant tracking system that you use, we can redirect the applicants to your ATS. So we spoke about branding, we spoke about viewing the job vacancies and all of the content. Third thing is, how do we have communication between the attendee and the recruiter? There is multiple ways that we can do that. Number one, both parties are going to see a user's online section on the right-hand side. If I'm the candidate and Carlos is the recruiter, I will see that he's online and vice versa. So this can be an easy way to initiate a chat between both. Another option could be scheduling an interview. So the way that this would work is when you're setting up the booth, you can say that on the vFairs stand, we're going to have 5 from our recruitment team. Each rep will determine the different time slots and the different dates that they're going to be available. So as a candidate, I can check Wednesday 28th, with Stefany, and I can book a meeting. I can then review that candidate's profile, see their resume, and accept or decline that meeting. If I've accepted, I'll be notified during the time of the call, and we can have the interview via chat, audio, or video call within the platform. Now, if I'm not booking meetings and I directly want to speak with the recruiters, we also understand this could get overwhelming, especially if you have fewer recruiters, a lot of jobs advertised, and a lot of attendees. And that's where the beauty of the chat queue comes in. With the chat queuing system, every recruiter can say, for example, I can take one call at a time, and I want each call to be 10 minutes long. So while I'm having the conversation with the first candidate, there's a timer that shows me how many minutes are left, and then it shows me that there's 3 people waiting in the queue, so I need to wrap up so that I can speak with the rest on time. Meanwhile, as an applicant, it won't feel like no one's getting back to us. They're going to get a notification that says, Stefany is busy attending another call. Your estimated waiting time is 8 minutes, for instance. This way, it keeps things more organized from both parties. Now, as a candidate, I can either hop from one booth to another and look for the job vacancies this way, or what I can do is I can also access the job bank. The job bank is going to list all of the different jobs that you have advertised across different departments. Now, I can either search, apply different filters, I can scroll down and review them one by one, or based on my registration, based on the fields that I've added, AI can give me recommendations as well on what jobs I should be applying for. Now, for a career fair, we understand a lot of times this is a one-day event. But if you do choose to keep the platform available and keep updating the content with new jobs, as a candidate, they can also set up a job alert. Meaning, if you were to advertise a role that matches my preferences, I will be notified via email so I can come back to the platform and apply for the job. Now let's take a look at things from a recruiter point of view. A lot of people are applying for jobs that I have advertised, and the My Jobs section is going to be able to show me who are the different applicants on which jobs. So let's say for one of these jobs, I have this one applicant, for example. I click on the name, I get to see the full details. I get to export that list as well. Now, this tab is going to show me everyone that applied, whereas these two other tabs are going to show me AI recommended profiles. I might get 10 resumes, but maybe 2 of them are very relevant. AI can pinpoint and say, prioritize these 2. Take a look at these 2 as a start. Whereas AI recommendation from the database is going to tell me, I only got 10 applicants, but there's 5 profiles out there that would be a great fit for me, and they still have not applied. And then I can see who they are, and I, as a recruiter, can initiate a conversation and start a meeting with them. One final thing on that note, if you don't want to use the AI recommended tool, you also, as a recruiter, have a resume search option. With the resume search, this is what Carlos was referring to earlier, what we mentioned on registration. It's very important to capture the important and relevant fields during registration process, because those fields are now the filters that you're seeing over here. So if I've captured their level of education, I can now use that filter, and then it's going to tell me that from the 207 results, this test account, for example, is a good fit. And then as a recruiter, I can immediately click on chat or book a meeting and start a one-on-one conversation with that attendee. That one-on-one conversation could be chat, it could be video, it could be audio. And on the right-hand side, I can view this user's profile. I can also add notes, ready to join in 2 months, good fit, and so on. And I can also add tags, which are easier for me to search later on, such as shortlisted, poor fit, rejected, and so on. I know we covered a lot. So Carlos, I don't know if you've got a lot of questions, but I'll redirect it to you.
Yeah, there are some questions. Is there any reporting on the job applications received? That is one of them. So yes, there is full reporting of the applications received. That's something that you can easily download in the backend. You can do this individually on your booth. And there's another one, which is, can vFairs pull from company website or job vacancy databases? So yeah, that is totally possible. There's 2 methods so we can do this. It could be done through a job scrape. That will require some maintenance from our end to ensure that we're pulling up the most important or live jobs from that feed. And the second could be an XML feed import of all the jobs. So it's possible in both ways. Those are the 2 questions that we have, Steph, so far.
Okay, perfect. So with this, we've wrapped up some of the key parts of the event. Initially, when we started the demo, we spoke about the support that your team will be getting as the event planners. So what we didn't talk about is the support during the live day. While we have 24/7 chat all throughout, pre, during, and post-event on the landing page itself, during the live day, if any of your attendees required any kind of support, they can click on technical support or help, and our vFairs rep will be manning this chat room. So we can assist your attendees via group chat conversation. That way other people make use of the Q&A, or we can move these to a one-on-one conversation where we can address their inquiries via chat, audio, video call, share screen, and walk them through different instructions and support them further. Now, the next part that I'm gonna highlight, I see it in some career fairs, other career fairs don't include it, so it's really optional. This part is mainly webinars or sessions. The way that I've seen it be very popular is that it's used either for live, maybe coaching or educational sessions, for example. So the idea here is that you can have either the content available for them to review ahead of time, or you go live with any one of your HR team members. And the topics could be anything, like I mentioned, from coaching, different career advice, or a bit about the company so that they're more familiar with your culture, who you are, and what you guys do. You can add who your speakers are going to be, and then they can play these sessions live or pre-recorded. You can also capture feedback from attendees through custom surveys as well as ratings. And there is in-depth reporting as well on all of this. So you can track how many people were actually visiting these sessions, how engaged were they during these sessions, all the Q&A, all the surveys, how long they stayed as well within the sessions can be captured. Let us know if you have any questions on the webinar piece.
No questions on the webinar piece so far, so we're good.
All right. Now, we mentioned mentoring over here. I've seen a lot of clients use kind of coaching sessions this way, where they do it more of, one person to all. Other times it would be a one-on-one. In that case, they would utilize the chat like I showed you earlier. And what's growing even more popular is smaller group, either networking or mentoring sessions. In that case, what we're seeing is clients are utilizing the roundtable functionality. So roundtable, similar to an in-person event, you can have multiple roundtables around different topics, topic 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can have them scheduled at certain durations. So maybe one of them starts at the start of the day, another one is a 1-hour slot throughout the end of the day. And you can have, so there's multiple chairs within a table. You can actually have a chair pre-assigned for a certain rep from your team. And other people will see that, for example, for technical support, as an example, it has 4 slots left. So I can join now. And this takes me into a small room, audio, video, and chat is available. And it's a great way for me to ask my questions and chat further.
There is a question. Are these interviews or mentoring sessions recorded and shared afterwards?
So in terms of recording, the transcripts, yeah, go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah, so in this case, the recording of the session, it's recorded. Yeah, we can share that afterwards. But if you want to have the transcripts as well, this is also something that you could download on the same backend. Of course, it's up to the event host or the admin, or in this case, the interviewer, which will be the booth rep in this case, not at candidate level.
Exactly. So there's different reports on chat logs, on everything you might. Now, the rest is really up to you. If you want to make the event more interactive to attendees, you can enable a lot of our different engagement tools. The most popular ones, I would say, include a photo booth. So again, this might resonate, it might not with the use case. It's completely optional, but it's a fun way to drive more interaction as well between attendees, between your recruiters. Your team can post photos in here. Others can add likes. And then these could be very custom in terms of the frame within the photos. You can also have live feeds where you add kind of notifications. So there's a notification section as well, push notifications that tell attendees where they need to be at what time, what's going live now. Make sure you join a certain roundtable. This live feed is more like an interactive, kind of like a social media feed as well. You can add photos, people can like, comment, share. So it's different than notifications per se. And then if you want to drive more engagement, you can add some gamification like leaderboard, and you can tell them the more you join our interactive sessions, for example, you post on the photo booth and so on, you'll be earning points. So throughout the end of the event, for those attendees that are the most active, maybe you give away some prizes as well for their participation. Now, another fun idea and what you can do is you can utilize the scavenger hunt. If you are, let's say your company has, your brand, your logo, the different products that you guys have, you can hide these items throughout the platform, make it more personal to your brand, and you can let the attendees know that they need to go on a hunt and find these objects. So that way it's an informative event. They have all of the jobs and all the information they need within booths. And there's some fun element for them as well to find all these objects and be eligible for prizes afterwards. This is it in terms of the demonstration. In case anyone has any questions, let us know. We talked about the reporting high level at different parts. We spoke about it on a booth level. We spoke about it on a webinar level. Now, this is the dashboard that you as an event organizer can get post-event. Like Carlos mentioned, every booth has its own report as well. So you can see what was the ROI like, how many people initially registered, out of which how many logged in, who did not show up. You can use the email campaigns in your favor over here because we also allow for email segmentation. So for all of those people that did not log in, maybe you send a blast email and say, the content is available for another month, for another 3 months, come back. We're constantly updating the job vacancies. And for all those that did attend, maybe you send out a thank you email with a survey. So you capture feedback, see what resonated with attendees, what didn't maybe, so that you know how you tweak the next events. While a lot of the reporting I'm showing you here could be exported by CSV file, and it's up to your team to find the reports, like one of the questions Carlos got was around the chat. You can say, I'm looking for the chat report. In addition to that, we also have AI-based reporting. So if you want to enable that, you can have the AI bot, and then you can ask, for example, which of my sessions was the most popular? what was, let's say your event was for 3 days, which day did I have the highest attendance on? Which booths were the most popular and jobs, that got the most applicants, and much more. All of these insights are going to help you just better elevate your future events as well. Perfect. I hope you guys found the session informative. I'll pause again, Carlos, in case there's anything that came through.
There was one question, is there a practical limit to the number of booth reps? Might it be based on the number of anticipated attendees? For example, 1 rep per 10 attendees. I think more than for the attendees, it will be more relevant to the number of jobs that you have. And also the moment you see that registrations are up, we totally recommend to at least have 2 to 3 reps on the booth. If we understand that schedules can be a little bit tight because we all have works that we're doing throughout the 8 hours of the day. So in this case, you can also create shifts and create schedules so booth reps can actually be accessible there. What happens if a candidate messages and the person is not online? Well, that's not a problem. The rep will be announced or will receive an email notification about that offline message. So that's fully covered from the system.
Perfect. Now, Carlos will be adding this information on the chat as well. We really appreciate you all joining in. We hope you found the session informative. In case you'd like to learn more or you'd like to discuss your upcoming career fair with us, you can email me at stephanie@vfairs.com, and you can add this as a subject line or just include it within the email so we can know that you guys were from the webinar, and we can offer you guys the special discount as well that we have. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, ask me or Carlos any follow-up questions you have post-webinar as well. We'll be circulating the recording, and we are happy to assist further. We'll stay on for a couple of seconds in case there's any more questions. Thank you, and have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for joining. Bye.